everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at the DX Attache Arrow from Kamen Rider 01. This is the third and seemingly last of the Attache weapons that we've gotten so far. I've been having a blast with these. I just think it's a really neat little gimmick to have them turn into like little briefcases. We've had the sword or caliber, we've had the shotgun, now we have the arrow, but I don't think there's going to be any more. They haven't really shown up in scans or product listings or things like that, so I think this is the last one, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm excited to check it out. As you can see, 01 featured very prominently on the front, and then you have Hirobi over here because he's kind of the one who primarily uses it on the show. You can see it in briefcase mode over on this side, and then here it is in the bow. It's kind of funny, it's called the Attache Arrow, but it's really more of a bow. I mean, yes, it shoots arrows, but, you know, like laser bolt arrows, so I don't know. I guess the Attache bow just didn't sound as cool, or else people might think it's like an actual bow, like a quarterstaff. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Here's a cool picture of Hirobi holding it. Here is it showing how it transforms. Of course, it makes noise, which we're going to take a look at. And then you can go ahead and insert the progress key. They're, of course, using Scorpion, because, again, it is primarily used by Hirobi, but I don't have Scorpion yet, so I'm going to use Flying Falcon. It's best I can do. Takes 2 AAA batteries, as you can see right there. That's pretty much it. Bottom's not very exciting on the packaging there, so I'm going to go ahead, open this up, and we'll take a closer look. So here is the Attache Arrow in briefcase mode. As you can see, purple is the primary color with this one, but it does have some nice silver paint as well as some light gray plastic down here on the bottom. This is the cover that you slide open if you want to put in the 2 AAA batteries. Here's the on and off switch. This is the release for the progress keys, but this is actually the release to open this up. So you have to push that down when you swing this piece out, and we'll get there in a moment. So first I'm going to turn it on.
Attache Arrow.
So it says its name. The never missing bow and arrow. So there you go. That is the fun little robotic phrase you get there. If you just press the trigger again.
Attache case opens to release the never missing bow and arrow.
So you just get that phrase again. If you want to, I think when it's closed, you don't need to press the button out. You can just, maybe you do. I'll press the button down and swing this piece out. Now it says Arrow Rise just with this one. This one doesn't trigger anything. This one doesn't have a release. You just pull it out very much the way you would like swing out that piece for the shotgun. It doesn't connect to anything. Now if you really wanted to, you could leave this closed and kind of use this as like a half sword, because when you use the trigger, because in Japan, all bows are also swords. That's just how it always works for Rider. So if you wanted to, you could leave that closed and just use it as a sword like this. Or, of course, you can go ahead and pop it open and still use it as a sword. But there is the full bow, like, transformed out. You have the top and the bottom's a little bit shorter. And then this is where, like, the laser arrows would fire out of. So you can pull this back. And that's how you get the like arrow firing sound. So the trigger does the slashing. And then this does the like firing arrows. And you can do it quick or fast. If you hold it, pull it back and hold it, it'll cycle through that music. If you just let it go real quick, it'll just fire. So it sounds like doing rapid fire. Then you hear like an explosion sound after. But it's not like past toys where if you do like 5 real quick in a row, you'll hear 5 explosions. You just hear 1. So like if I would do, you just hear the 1 explosion. There have been things like the Budo Ryuho where you could hit the trigger 3 times and then you'd hear 3 explosions of those bolts landing. Not the case here, but still pretty cool. Not too much going on the back here, but here's the speaker. So that's it for when you just first open it. Now what you can do if you go ahead and hold the button down and close this.
Charge rise. Charge.
So if you don't have to close up both parts if you just want to activate the charge. You can see that it doesn't quite close all the way because with this open, it doesn't quite line up. But you don't have to close both parts to get that sound. So let's say just for example, I'm going to... Oh, now I'm setting things off. Let me open this up again. So there you heard kind of the powered up slash. Just to make this simple, I'm going to go ahead and leave this part closed just for now. I'm going to go ahead and close this again. So when it's closed up, either one will give you that same just charge sound effect. But if you go ahead and open this back up, so you get a charge sound effect for both the slash and the shoot, which I think is pretty cool. So it has two charge sound effects when you open and close it, one for each. So that's nice. I think that's nice extra sound effects, which is very cool. I'm going to go ahead and close this again. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just turn it off. And then we will bring in a progress key. Like I said, I don't have Scorpion yet, so I'm going to use Falcon. And we'll get to the sound effects that it makes with a progress key inserted. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch here.
Attache arrow.
And I'm going to go ahead and insert this.
Progress key confirmed. Ready to utilize. Falcon's ability.
So if you hit the trigger,
Kamen attack.
you get that. If you go ahead and open this up, actually if you have it closed still, so when you and that shows that when you pull this up, it's what activates the key. So none of the trigger sound effects activate the key, only this does. So that's a good demonstration of that. But we'll go ahead and open this real quick. Okay, so that's Arrow Rise. You get Kamen Slash with just the trigger, and then when you pull this, so you can see there that it really does depend when you let go of this. So say for example I do it again. And then it does the sound effect for charging until you release. And then you get a really cool, like, powered up arrow sound effect there. So it really does pay to hold that all the way until the end, till everything else plays so nothing overwrites itself. But we'll go ahead and close this. So again, it does set off the progress key. Open this one last time. Some pretty cool, like, hold music here. So with the trigger, you get Kamen Finish, and again, does not set off the key, but very cool sound effects there. I lied, we do have to open and close this one last time. So let me press this. Am I doing this correctly? And there you go, you get Kamen Strike.
Charge rise.
We'll go ahead and turn that off, and then you still use this one over here to release the progress key. So I think that's pretty cool. You get 2 sound effects. For this, with the key inserted, it actually doesn't get set off by the trigger, just the pulling back of the arrow. So you do have like a regular, just the key inserted, then the charged up key inserted. You don't actually get 4 different sounds like you might expect with the key. So I think this is really fun. Like I said, I've really enjoyed the Attache series of weapons, having them look like little briefcases. I think now that we've gotten the authorized Buster, I think that thing's called, that gun/axe weapon, you know, that kind of shows that we're moving on to different weapons based on the forms, as opposed to these all-purpose like briefcase weapons. But I had fun with them while they lasted, and I'm definitely glad I picked up all 3 of them. The Attache arrow is definitely one to pick up in my opinion. I do like the color scheme. I think the bow and arrow motif is very fun, and I like that you get different sound effects for both the pulling back of the simulated arrow as well as the trigger for the like sword slash sound effects. So it's a bit of a bummer that both the trigger and the pulling back of the arrow don't trigger the sounds of the progress key, but I can overlook it because you do get some really good sound effects from pulling back the arrow with the progress key, and you do still get finishing attack sounds for both. They just don't set off the key, and really the sounds from the key are kind of always the same. It's the sounds from the weapon that's unique. So I feel like, you know, not having the trigger set off the sound effect in the key is not that big of a loss, because you're going to get it with the arrow and it's the same sound effect anyway, so meh. But I definitely think this one's a lot of fun. I would recommend picking it up, and I'm glad I did. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.